not embarrassed, but humbled by the fact that we get to come up here as, I guess, early day spokespeople and talk about the early days. But I do want to point out people like Steve and John, and there's been so many that have contributed to the organization and the growth of it. So I just want to recognize that because it is humbling.
The next activity, which is a kind of speed dating for business kind of thing that we're doing.
Having spent a good chunk of my adult life as a single guy, in between marriages, I'm quite comfortable with the speed dating business.
Do you hope your children will be entrepreneurs? Why or why not?
Absolutely, actually, and it's funny, I've thought about that a lot, and just how I want to encourage entrepreneurialism in them, because I think it reflects a lot of the attributes that I admire.
Describe a time of loneliness in your life.
Would have been when I was 18 and my father passed away, very sudden. He was very young, and I had such a upbringing where it was very nurtured and loving and probably quite protected, so I was quite surprised at loss, and the first time I had seen loss.
Yesterday in the interview with Chip, I was asking about AD and the entrepreneur, and I thought I'd bring a few other entrepreneurs in and ask them what they think of whether or not they're actually afflicted with ADD, or is it just some other kind of phenomenon. Scott Fritz from Vegas. Scott, do you think that you have a form of ADD?
Not really, no.
Well, it's interesting because I've been talking to a lot of other people who also think that they do. And Scott, how about your wife? What does she think? Scott?
Hi, my name is Mark Kielberger. I'm the executive director of an organization called Free the Children. Free the Children is the world's largest network of children helping children. We empower young people to help themselves all around the world, engaging young Canadians in the development process and changing lives in developing countries. For those of you who are EO members who want to say, well, how can I get engaged? One thing might be, for example, to build a school for your company. It's about $10,000 to build a school. You can actually have your company come out to be part of that building process, or even your EO forum to come out and be engaged in that as well. But most importantly, engage your young people in civic activities from a young age. Take them volunteering, read the newspaper together, and get them interested in volunteering from a young age so that they can be the next generation of social entrepreneurs.
Mr. Astley. He did not include Manitoba in his introduction and his welcome. What's really behind it?
Well, I think what's behind it is they're scared.
Scared of what?
Scared of the entrepreneurs in Winnipeg.
And how's that?
We're crazy. We're out there. We're different. You know, we're aggressive, and we're ready to go. So I think they wanted us just to pack our bags and not be at the conference.
I came to thinking that yes, there is a conspiracy, and I think they finally realized that Winnipeg is the center of Canada, and
they can't handle it.
Can't handle it.
They can't handle the truth.
I don't know if you noticed as well, they didn't mention Mexico. And you're not the first one to notice that, and there's some rumors that there's a conspiracy theory going on. So I'm a little bit concerned. I know there's a little bit of issues against Manitoba and Mexico, but I'm trying to figure out who's the person behind all this.
You know, and what would be the connection between Mexico and Manitoba?
The letter M. I think that's the key.
It's a conspiracy against the letter provinces or countries starting with the letter M. I think we're getting down to it. Okay. Thank you very much. What do you think about the letter M, and what does it mean to you?
Mum.
Well, you heard it. Mum's the word. She's been shushed by the head of the Calgary group. We definitely have hit a nerve now. I don't even know if we'll be able to make it through the rest of this conference.
Mr. Manning, are there any individuals on the federal political scene that you've been personally impressed by, that you would say, wow, that's an individual of character that you think could play a large role?
To be frank, one of the people I am impressed with is Stephen Harper.
That was great. Yeah. Neil Krovats from EO TV. Nice to have you. It was great to talk to you. Got a couple quick questions for you from an entrepreneurial standpoint. What is your best book you've ever read that was most inspiring to you?
Carl Sandburg's biography of Abraham Lincoln, The Prairie Years, the first volume of that series. I've always been inspired by Lincoln as a democratic politician and as someone that had to handle just the worst problem you can ever have in politics, which is a civil civil conflict within your own jurisdiction. So that would be one that would inspire me the most.
And not really knowing when to go to the play and when not to go to the play, right?
Yes. Well, that's true.
Now, you had mentioned that the greatest learning you had was through mistakes. What was the best learning you had from a mistake that you remember that sticks out in your mind?
Well, in my political activities, I was involved with a new party that tried to do everything, partly because we felt it was necessary to imply we had a solution to everything, or people wouldn't believe that we really were capable of being a national party. But one of the effects of that was to spread our limited resources way too thin. And I think we would have been wiser to focus on 5 or 6 big themes, to tell people that we would address the other themes when we had the capital to do it, but we couldn't do that now. I think that might have been a wiser course for us. I'm Preston Manning, and you're watching EOTV.
So tonight we're going to get down to the band. We just had a comedian, Preston Manning. Lots of great people. Everybody's having a really great time. The party's going to go late in Banff here.
Here we are, the final night of EO Canada, and I'm with new member Steve from Vancouver. Is it Vancouver? It is Vancouver. Steve, give us your thoughts and your ideas of how this conference went, and what do you think about EO Connects Canada?
Well, one word, awesome. Had a great time. It was fantastic. I think I picked up more info here at this conference than I have in the last 10 years at work. It was great.
Highly recommend it. Looking forward to doing an international event.
You going to Vegas?
Considering it, I hear it's in October, so hope to be there.
You know, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I hear that.
How'd the university go?
Oh, the conference was a complete success. I think it was great. My only thing I screwed up on was welcoming the Winnipeg chapter.
I appreciate that.
And I'm sorry about that, because Winnipeg is a huge part of this Canadian initiative, and they're strong and they're here represented. So,
you guys had fun?
Yes, great. We're going to Vegas.
You going to Vegas?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that where the next university is?
Now, what would your word of advice for all spouses thinking of coming to university?
Make sure you get the correct dress code information.
And you look great. What's wrong with this?
Black tie.
You look great.
I mean, this week was pretty good. I really enjoyed meeting the wives from Edmonton.
You had a good time?
Great time.
University number?
I think 9.
9. And you're going to Vegas?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, who wouldn't be going to Vegas, right?
How can't you not go to Vegas?
Now you've been 9 universities. What do you have to say to all the other spouses that there haven't been to university?
It's a blast. It's so much fun. You got to come.
For EOTV, I'm Neil Krovats. Having a great time again doing the YEO experience, everybody. Next time you have a chance, what were you doing on the weekend that we were doing this? I bet it wasn't nearly as much fun. Good night.